I'm Terri Murphy, the founder of the Women's Wisdom Network and the senior editor for Realty Times Women in Business, Women in Real Estate, and In the Men's Room with Murph. And one of the best parts about this particular segment is that it gets to go in all three segments, because we have fashion artist and designer Hilton Hollis from New York City with us to talk about the new trend in being comfortable and still looking polished. Welcome, Hilton.
Thanks, Terri. Thank you for having me today.
Well, I know that most of us don't understand that you actually have to design almost a year in advance for the next upcoming look.
Right.
And so who knew that your beautiful, well, I'd like to call it the polished sweatpant look would be so apropos for us having to work from home and still look good and or not be in formal meetings anymore. Tell us a little about your inspiration for that.
So luckily, because we are a smaller brand, we were able to kind of stop what we were in the middle of once the pandemic hit. We were actually able to put the brakes on certain styles and then really shift our focus more into the casual lifestyle aspect. So we do casual. We also do, I like to say I can dress a woman from the moment she wakes up in the morning until she goes to bed at night. But from weekends on her farm or weekends away at the lake house to a cocktail party or a formal event. So we have everything. But of course, now we are focused mainly on a more casual aspects of our collection. And we have several styles that are like a jogger type style, like a sweatpant type silhouette for the bottom. And then just a little bit more relaxed and looser fits on top. So that's one of the things that we really have kind of continued with into the fall 21 season, which will start showing next month. And so we're continuing with it, hoping that things will start to kind of improve with the distribution of all of the vaccine and people will start to get out a little bit more. But as we go forward, you'll see that we're still kind of in that kind of relaxed kind of mood. Although the fabrics will be a little bit more luxurious, still very relaxed.
Sorry to interrupt. Well, but here's my thing. I don't think that after being comfortable, that anybody wants uncomfortable. So I think it's a precursor to a more relaxed style and yet polished, because,
absolutely.
Corporate's still corporate. But I think the rigidness is gone and your fabric selections are always spectacular. And I know that your show is on the road, because even though it's crazy times, people are still looking for polished designs, especially as we go forward into the transition, if we ever get out of winter into spring. Tell us a little bit about your own personal collection that you wear yourself, because it works.
Yeah. So, I'm the perfect example of what is happening right now in the market because of the way that I dress personally. So one of the things that I wanted to show you is the idea of taking a sweatpant and then pairing it with a very tailored jacket. And maybe you layer it over a t-shirt, depending on where you are in the country. Of course, right now, everyone's snowed in, but layering it with a t-shirt underneath, if you're in a warmer environment, layering it with a sweater or a sweatshirt. Today, I'm wearing a turtleneck, but I wanted to show you my own personal sweatpant. So this is a sweatpant that I actually bought at Club Monaco here in New York. I know there's Club Monacos throughout the country. There are not a lot of them, but they do have an online presence. But you can find a great sweatpant anywhere. This sweatpant is actually made of a knit fibers or knit fabric, and it has a little pin tuck down the center of the leg, elasticized waist, which we love, and then the little drawstring at the waist. Now, when I wear this pant, I cuff it at the bottom. I throw on a pair of white sneakers with it, which is very in right now for both men and women. And then I take my Reese tailored jacket and I pop that back on top with a little sweatshirt underneath. So you could do a graphic tee, you could do a graphic sweatshirt, but putting those two items together like that, I think is a very fun way to incorporate a little bit more of a career look with your tailored jacket. You have the fun casual aspect underneath with your graphic tee or graphic sweatshirt. I threw on a little lapel pin, a little dove, which I think is so cute. So it pulls in all those colors. And then, throwing it back to your sweatpant on the bottom and a pair of sneakers. So you're looking polished, you're looking put together, but it's very comfortable. You don't feel like you're, completely overdressed for the occasion. Once you decide, hey, I'm off screen, I'm not on the Zoom call anymore, you can easily take that jacket off. And then honestly, you're wearing a sweatsuit in essence.
Well, I do want to point out, though, a detail that most people wouldn't pick up, but you as a fashion artist did. And you talked about the pin tucking in the front of that sweatpants,
Right.
which makes it look a little less, I'll use the word sloppy, because it
Absolutely.
gives it a little bit more form and a linear look, which of course,
Yeah.
what you feature in some of your other pieces as well. We're going to do a separate segment on that because it's my very favorite element of Hilton Hollis is
Right.
your stretch pant. But I think it's important for people to know that casual is okay, but sloppy is going to send a different message.
Right.
Especially if we haven't been able to get to the gym. We just don't want to look like we don't care.
Right.
It's more of a respect issue, I would say, respecting other people and really feeling better about yourself. So you do have a beautiful faux suede collection in the spring collection for Hilton Hollis. And it comes in several colors. One of them is absolutely, heavenly. It's that soft aqua blush. What do you call it?
We actually call that color patina. So imagine when you have copper and it has that greenish tinge to it once it's out and it oxidizes, that is like the perfect representation of that color. So yeah, I mean, the thing is you can take all of those beautiful kind of silhouettes and, take a sweatpant, I like to do the air quotes because sweatpant, you don't want your, champion sweatpant that you get at Dick's Sporting Goods or at Modell's. You don't want that. You want a little bit more of a tailored, like the pin tuck that I talked about. I've even seen sweatpants recently that have a little satin trim on them, which is also nice. But, pairing those items back with something that's unexpected, put it with a sequin t-shirt, like a sweatpant with a sequin t-shirt, throw on your jacket over it. Maybe you're just running out to pick up food from a local restaurant. You never know who you're going to see when you go out to pick up food. Like you could see the CEO of a company that you want to be a part of or that you want to partner with. So I say, always look your best, always put your best foot forward, always get dressed. And, eventually we're all going to get back to our normalcy, but we don't want this to become part of our norm. We want this to actually just help us elevate our style, help us elevate our personal kind of expression of who we are, but done in a very clean, very sophisticated and elegant kind of way.
Well, I really do want to share the colors. I know that you have the patina, which almost is the sea foam if you see it.
Yes.
And then you've got a kind of I don't want to call it beige because beige is too yellow, but maybe a soft white mushroom color.
It's almost a silver. It's like a silvery gray, like a very light. Gray is so hard for a lot of women to wear, especially of a certain age. We really need that little bright kind of uplifting color. And what this silver does is it has a little bit of a frosted kind of effect to it because of the surface texture and how the light reflects on it. So it almost has like a frosted silver kind of feel to it. So it is very flattering.
Now, well, the other thing that's real flattering, and this is another detail I learned from Hilton, and that is, how snaps look so unfinished, especially if you're not snapped. Now, the tops to those outfits are 3/4 length, snapped, but you use special snaps. Tell us about the snaps because they are so polished.
Yeah, again, using kind of like that athletic kind of feel of like snaps, that you would see on your like normal little windbreaker from Lululemon or someone like that. But I wanted to elevate it to the next level, of course. So what these are is they're German snaps and they're pressure sensitive. So on both sides, like if you were to wear it open, you see both sides of the snaps. Usually you have like a kind of an ugly side of the snap. Well, on these, it's actually beautiful on both sides. It's almost identical on both sides. So, those are the things that we do here with the brand that I think really set us apart from other brands is really just, it's all about the details. You've worn our clothes for years and that it's all about the details. And that really is what makes it special.
And I think that's what you taught me the most. And as you share with women, the the basic core value for Hilton Hollis is we make women feel remarkable. And I'm going to say we do our best when we feel our best. Little details. I know that particular faux suede comes in a navy, and it came in that silvery beige color, and now in that beautiful patina. I would just tell you that that's a piece that I think is just mandatory for anybody going forward, especially even in the summer when you want to throw something on in air conditioning as you transition to fall. I love the fact that Hilton Hollis pieces universal for almost every season. There, you can literally take them from season to season. You are brilliant and masterful at making sure the color palettes match, so you're not having to have a disruption in how they look. But you really do a fabulous job. So since we are not really shopping, and I know that you have signature stores across the country, tell us how to look at the Hilton Hollis collection for spring 2021.
Yes. So HiltonHollis.com. It's as simple as that. You can also go on any of my social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Like we're always posting photos of the collection. And, if you can't get to a local store, if there's not one in your area, you could always shoot us an email and say, hey, I'm interested in these pieces. And what we would do is we would send them to you, and then we would charge you once you've decided which ones you want to keep. And then you would just return whatever you didn't want. So I think it's a good way just to kind of see the collection in person, especially now. And you know what? We all want to feel better about the situation that we're in with a global pandemic. I think that clothes, a lot of people say that clothes are just frivolous things that you don't really need. Clothes make a woman feel so much, and man feel so much better about their situation that they might be in. We're all feeling a little bit more down these days with like the weather and the pandemic, and what is going on with the next thing with your business. And that stress is something that you can deal with, but also feeling better about yourself and feeling good about the way you look is such a huge part of feeling better in general. So even just to get dressed up today to see you, I felt better today.
Well,
so it's nice.
HiltonHollis.com. It's HiltonHollis.com. Especially with the sequestering, you really don't want to get out there and shop. Go online, look at a couple of those items. And I'm going to tell you, once you try them on, you fall in love. As I have for years, it's my favorite thing. I'll hope you'll join us again for another segment of Hilton Hollis, because I want to talk about the most amazing plaque that you make called Miracle Stretch. OMG, my best favorite thing. Join us again soon on the Women's Wisdom Network. I'm Terri Murphy. Thank you, Hilton Hollis.
Thank you.